By the way, we're casting a pug between Team Derpy and Team Timo. They decided to not roll for captains this time, and instead it's just Derpy versus Timo, and they drafted players. Get the anti-mage ban. That's pretty expected. This particular group really doesn't like anti-mage at all, so there's no surprise there. Clink's ban, I think it's unnecessary. I think Clink's is actually pretty even at this point. Spirit Breaker ban, that makes sense. Spirit Breaker's super popular for all the buffs. He's like ridiculous now. Gym Leader Dota did just update. If you haven't updated, then perhaps that's what's causing it. I don't know. Try relaunching it a few times. All right. So there's been some very, very significant changes to the game recently. It's interesting that the first round of bans are still more or less the same, other than, of course, Spirit Breaker, which we decided as a group was the worst hero. And now he's one of the best. The Bash just does an absurd amount of damage. Totally, totally absurd amount of damage. 300% move speed as damage is some silly as fuck shit right there. The AA first pick into Storm Spirit. Alright. Now they gotta build a team around Storm Spirit, but Storm Spirit's definitely very good. And Timo specifically really likes Storm Spirit. He likes playing Storm Spirit. I was just watching his stream and he was playing a bunch of Storm Spirit. I wonder if either of the teams are going to pick Alchemist, though. I was just fiddling with Alchemist, and I think there he is. So I think Alchemist might be ridiculously broken if you play him right. I think the strat is you leave your 2 high ground easy camps unfarmed. And then when Alchemist gets his Grieval's Greed maxed out and has, like, once he gets some kind of farming item that he can clear them very, very quickly, you have him clear both of those easy camps all at once. There's no longer a cap to max bounty gold per kill. So when you get all of those 16 stacking from a huge set of thanks for the tip, man. That's awesome. PK chips. But if you manage to kill like 2 full stacks all at the same time, 16 times however many creeps that is in there, it's like, I think it might be 16 times 32. You get a lot of gold. Let's just say that. Drow ban and a Centaur pick. Interesting. Drow's strong. It's a weird ban to me there. She's not super strong. There's a lot of other... There's like some big team fight I would probably ban at this phase. Especially since you're going into these two. Or maybe ban out a carry that works really well with them. I'd probably ban Spectre if I were them. That's what I would be really afraid of with this team. It's like a really tanky carry that the storm can't just burst down. Legion Commander's pretty good. Her ultimate skill is much better than it used to. The 4th level used to be in like the low 30s, and now it's much higher. So if you can get some early levels on her, she can stack up a lot of dual damage. You get Aghanims, and even if you die right after you get the duel, as long as you can get the duel off and get the bonus, it's awesome. You just keep doing that over and over and over again, and then eventually you have several hundred bonus damage into the thousands, and it's a great tactic. You kind of become like a suicide bomber at the end. You just fly in, you grab someone, and you take them down. Disruptor pick. Ooh, and a Lion. Nice. I like Lion. Lion is a disabling machine. This Radiant team is very, very team fight. Look at them go. I love that they banned out the Rubik with all the team fight that they're going for and all these strong spells. It would just be horrible. Like, I mean, if Rubik managed to steal Lion's ult, it would be pretty devastating. Because Rubik, of course, with the level 25 talent. Let's see what this team picks here. They got a weird lineup right now. Spectre. Yeah, that's great. I like that. Spectre's just good. Nice. Tanky, hard to deal with. You can't just disable her and kill her. It hurts a little to go Alchemist and Spectre into AA, but what are you gonna do? So I think the big thing that Radiant team's lacking right now is damage. They have all kinds of disable. They have all kinds of team fight right here. And honestly, all three of these supports scale very, very, very well into the late game. All three of them notably do. With the AoE Hex scaling in duration, everything about Centaur, just everything about him. And yeah, everything about AA also, especially when you get the insanely rapid fire, like Cold Feet, is it? The one that stuns constantly. It's pretty devastating. Zeus, interesting. Did Zeus get buffed last patch? I don't know. Kaya got buffed, so it's an indirect Zeus buff. Zeus is good, but he's just not popular. The meta in OAA right now is pick Spirit Breaker or Alchemist and we've been putting out some crazy patches lately, so everything's that's very loud. Yeah, a bunch of new patches have come out lately, and they're pretty insane. I think Venomancer is very, very, very strong. Basically, all of his numbers got buffed, and he's pretty devastating now. Tiny, yes, Tiny. Tiny's the new cleaver. Tiny's cleave remained unnerfed when all of the cleaves in the game got nerfed, so that's why you pick Tiny now. Who are you? Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I still don't know if I really believe in it, but, you know... Come on. What's your name? Let's just see how it goes. There is enough attack speed in OAA that you can very easily, with a single item, kind of make up for a lot of Tiny's weaknesses. Like, he's probably one of the only natural butterfly carriers, because butterfly is not particularly that popular, especially since it doesn't give very much agility. It gives a ton of attack speed. So it's a little bit less of a damage, like super stats agility item like it is in a lot of other modes. And instead, it's more about the evasion and getting a ton of attack speed. And not a lot of heroes really care about getting a ton of attack speed, because usually your other items kind of synergize with that anyway, or you're agility hero and you're going to get a bunch of stats, those sorts of things. Plus just natural stat gain, getting all the way up to level 50. Alright, I'm going to check on food really quick. I have some food going.
Kid did 2 weeks in the hole. Came out thinking he was the Easter Bunny.
We'll take that.
Funny. Hey, there was a big copycat of a cigarette butts right here. You see that, anyone? Process. Not even jaywalking charge. No fingerprints in the system. This is a public relation. So, we call the cops, board of directors.
Why don't we sort out getting
If they can't figure out who he is, they gotta. Yeah.
Alright, I missed the first duel, but it looks like Radiant Team destroyed it. Abba's playing support. That makes sense. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you can probably count on one hand how many times Abba's played OAA, and I guarantee you he's never played on this map. But he's a smart dude and a homie, so we'll see how he does.
Young man, who are you?
All right. Woozy's staying nice and spaced well. Ignorance getting some serious damage, catching these heroes individually alone.
Can you hear me? Have we checked
Haha, just goes right through the wall. That's a really nice thing about Spectre.
insurance here because
Let's see how last hits are going. Yep, we definitely expect to see Teemo doing some farming. Yeah, I think it's interesting. He really likes farming these hard camps. He does it pretty early. A lot of times, people really focus on medium camps and let these kind of build up and save them for later. But he likes to get them early. Anyways, I guess it's easy enough to do. Then why not?
Henry. Matthew. Eva. How much doubt is reason?
Yes, it's true. I ban anyone who says the bad F word.
Well, folks,
You can say fuck all you want.
my actions, whether or not
And I have no regrets. All right, so let's see how Carl's doing. So I think he's actually messing up by farming these early. I think what he wants to do is leave these completely alone and focus on medium camps early on, and probably this one as well. And then once he, and yeah, I like rushing Radiance. I think that's what you do. And then once you rush Radiance, I guess you can just get the base camp, rush Radiance, and then once you get Radiance, like rotate up here. I think the team should probably get vision of these outer camps though, and try to make sure that the enemy team doesn't get them. Because if Alchemist managed to take like, let's say 3 like unfarmed stacks with maxed out Grievel's Greed, he will be 6-slotted. So it's good that Radiant Team has a lot of flash farm. I think it's actually really important that like Derpy and the other good flash farmers really quickly make sure that they're clearing out these big stacks. So like they need to make sure to clear this at some point. They already cleared the other one. It's all about the number of creeps really, because since there's no limit on Grievel's Greed gold upgrade, what you want to do is kill as many creeps as you possibly can within a very, very short period of time. So that way you get all of the stacks on basically all of the creeps. And if you clear out like 2 camps, then you're going to have just such absurd stacks. That's too bad. He's wasting a lot of stacks with it. It's all the way up to 60 when he's dying there. Be more careful. Alchemist is really bad early. He's just, his stats and stuff just aren't good, so he's difficult. He's hard to get going. Nice. They take down a Spooky Spectre. That's pretty important. You see, Radiant Team has pretty aggressive vision here. I really like that. They're trying to keep an eye on the farming patterns of the enemy team. Dire Team doesn't have a whole lot of vision. They just got 1 ward mid. They're not really pooping that much. Trying to hunt down Teemo. He's already level 7. That's great. Of course, Derpy's actually level 9. He's doing phenomenal. I guess he's probably focusing medium camps more or farming alone more often because he's higher level with fewer last hits. Let's take a look at the net worths. Okay, we see Derpy's actually struggling to keep up there, so it seems that he's mostly level. Let's take a look overall at the levels. Yeah, he's got a very, very high level, but a much lower net worth for it. So he's definitely been super focusing medium camps because medium camps are the most dense in XP. And that's a good idea with Tiny, you know? You just want to get levels early on. Yep, I'm just going to rotate in, get a couple kills. That was a great rotation. They're all level 4, but like, whatever. Alright. Let's see how this duel goes. Got, a big old 4v4 at the bottom. And who's up here? Alchemist and Woozy? That's actually pretty interesting, but let's take a look at the bigger fights. Oh, wow, Lion gets ridiculously caught out of position and taken down immediately, but they're all kind of stuck here, taking a lot of damage from Entropy's Zeus here. Zeus is definitely putting out a lot of damage here. Do they manage to kill? Yep, they get the Teemo down. Teemo does not have a Bloodstone yet, so that doesn't matter that much. That was great. Wow. You know, we haven't really been talking about the Zeus at all, but yeah, they have a Zeus, and Zeus is strong. So, There he is.
Does the tape get erased? Yes, it does.
All right. Yeah, Storm Spirit's doing really well with farming and everything. This team just isn't even close to coming online. You gotta fare yourself. You get 1,000 gold. Buy 4 salves. Also, you really should save this for the Alchemist. The Alchemist needs this way, way more than you do, Spectre.
Frostbite. Inside somewhere.
Alchemist, here we go. He has his Radiance now. So let's see how this camp does. He doesn't really have any gold at the start of it. So this is like not quite a maxed camp. And he easily gets 2,000. Now, if he clears another camp right away, he'll get like 12 to 15,000 gold. Because now each one of these is going to have so much more. There we go. Got a favorable spawn. That was a 3 creep one. There we go. Yeah, the problem is that there are no like really big stacks. I guess actually he should have rotated down. The stacks are bigger here. It would have been good to have his team get vision on these stacks to try to check their sizes. These are pretty decent sized stacks too, though. Once he rotates over there, use your ultimate, buddy. Nope. Oh, that's too bad. He had a lot of stacks going there. You know, he's not quite pulling off the Alchemist strat correctly, but it's just a normal Alchemist now. You know, he's just rich and has a lot of gold. That was almost pretty good. Radiant Team's doing a really, really good job at locking Dire Team in. They have very aggressive vision, and I feel like they've kind of drawn a line right here, and they've said this part of the map's ours and this part of the map's yours, and our part's bigger, so we're gonna win. Woozy completely out of position there, though, and just gets ultimated like Abba by Abba. We see, yep, both teams have taken bosses. Let's take a look at the boots. Love looking at the boots. Nice. We see some upgraded TP boots early on. I'm really happy about this. I'm happy that people are trying to pull off this strat. We see 3 farming boots on this team, which is rough. And then, oh, wow, the Tide. The Tide doesn't have his boots done yet. That's a really big bummer here. I don't know how he ended up so poor, but, you know, you can't go too hard of support because it's pretty important to get your boots done. So that way, you know, like, I would just quickly sell the Stout Shield and just buy that because overall you'd make more money because the loss would be less than the amount of gold that you would make during the time of it ticking. There we go. So he finally gets his boots going. All right. So double mana boots here, and double mana boots, double cleave, and then single farming. So they're going for protect 1 with their farming patterns. Are they all just going to follow around Derpy and while he completely clears the map? I think that's their plan here. I mean, he's level 16. Derpy's huge. He gets ravaged before he can finish off the Spectre. Oh, the Zeus ultimate comes in. Derpy's just going to poke Carlos. I mean, Carlos didn't get any big stacks saved for him because Derpy and honestly the Spectre were busy clearing them, so he's just not as wealthy. He can't compete with this Tiny. Wow, who would have thought Tiny? That's a good point, Gym Leader Giovanni. I wasn't even thinking about the fact that he doesn't actually need a Stout Shield because he's Tied and his passive has larger damage block than it now. So definitely selling that to get the boots earlier would have been good. Great ultimate. Let's see if they get any damage to follow it up. That was a phenomenal stun to stop really any follow-up. I think they're going to be able to kill this Alchemist. He's pretty heavily locked down. Yep, and then the stomp to finish him off. Easy. And, ooh, and they're even going to get the Tide Hunter. Wow. It's amazing how far ahead this Radiant team is, but yet the net worths are still actually like pretty similar. Let's look at some graphs. Well, let's wait for this fight to finish and look at some graphs. But they're just kind of high ground farming them. It's just a matter of if they manage to get any return kills. This lion's probably going to die. He stayed up there for a pretty long time. Yep, there he goes. But now these both have to retreat. In fact, Ignorance is dead. Yep, Ignorance is dead. That was a great stomp. Fav's been getting some phenomenal finish off the melting hero stocks, you know? So, our wealthy heroes here. Alchemist doesn't have a crazy amount. He needs big stacks, that's the thing. And I think Radiant's strategy here is ridiculously good against... Oh, they killed... Did he have a Bloodstone? He doesn't have a Bloodstone. He didn't even go Bloodstone. That's smart. It's not worth it this game. You're not going to be able to keep it on you that much, you know? Even with the amount of gold that he has. You know, only Derpy has higher net worth than him. The net worths are pretty similar here. But look at what happens when Derpy finds him. Yep. This Tiny's huge. Look at the cleave. This Tiny just does so much. He went AC and Echo Saber. I like that. Of course, you go Powerful Treads or attack speed. You know, if he upgrades them, you can get some cheap attack speed also if they manage to get ahead in cores. So he's gonna go crits and upgrade his Shadow Blade. Nice. Yo, Tiny. The funny thing about him is we really didn't actually buff him that much at all. I think that's mostly just the way that the map is and everything actually makes Tiny a good hero here, but just no one plays him. Wow. You know, Radiant's so far ahead in kills, but their net worth only barely reflects it. And as long as this team's able to keep farming, I think it's going to stay pretty close. I'm very impressed with this Dire team's ability to stay in this. We got the biggest buff this patch, probably Spirit Breaker. All right, so the capture point's definitely very, very important here. The Dire team essentially must get... It's funny that both of them rotated and got their boss almost reminded by the capture point warning that they should do that. But I guess everyone's just now starting to get 6 slotted, so you now get to the point where you start rotating and taking out bosses. Yep. These two teams' movements right now make a lot of sense. Radiant team is so much more on top of it with vision. Look at all these wards everywhere. I assume these high ground ones are definitely real wards. I don't know if any of these other ones could be poop wards, but I definitely haven't been noticing either team really utilizing the poop wards that much. They have an extremely low cooldown. It's 1 minute and it's per character, so you can actually put out 5 on the map every minute and they last 6 or 7. Great Ice Blast. It'll make defending this spot a little harder, but they still have great position to try to hold it. Ravage, of course, is phenomenal in this specific situation. Abba holding everyone back with those fields. This is definitely very well played on their part. Zeus is getting a lot of damage out, but, you know... These guys are behind, but they're not that far behind. And it's also its moves like that that keep tightening the game again. Oh, but here comes Derpy, and he's just gonna thud, thud, thud the whole team down. Oh man, and they get... So no more healing for the Alchemist. Ouch, that's rough. Teemo doing what Teemo does best. They get force a bit of an initiation here with probably not the best toss. Oh, but Abba actually glimpses him back. I think that was probably in their favor. They need to kill Derpy. He does so much cleave damage. And the cleave, of course, isn't reduced. Actually, I think Tiny's cleave is reduced by... Isn't it like the one type that doesn't... Or that does get reduced by armor or something stupid like that? I don't know. Poop words are 1 minute. Poop words have a ridiculously short cooldown. They're basically built to be absurdly overpowered. but people still just don't abuse them that much, you know? I feel like there's always so much to do, it's hard to keep track of putting them in good spots. I'm pretty sure the Radiant team got the capture point there. Which is definitely, that's very, very rough for the Dire team here. That's probably actually the biggest deficit that they've encountered so far. The kill score is something you can come back from. But losing out on essentially free cores. And also, the Radiant team actually didn't have vision of theirs the whole time. They could have tried to been sneaky and just gone back there and tried to take it, but it probably wouldn't have worked anyway. The Radiant team seems pretty on top of their game, honestly. They are, they're not picking the best fights. Like, they seem to be throwing a lot of fights and not necessarily pushing their advantage that much. But when they do pick a good fight, you know, they're definitely been establishing their lead here the entire time and just been on top. And I think they have a really good late game, too. As I said, their supports specifically are ones that scale really, really well into the late game. I mean, the Centaur is just so obnoxious. There we go. There's finally enough heroes here to deal with the Centaur, but, I mean, it takes almost the whole team. Let's check the lower duel. We got a 3v3 down here. Great Ravage. They zero in on the Centaur, though, which I don't think is the smartest move there. Everyone sidesteps the Stomp, which is great. But, yeah, Derpy does 500 damage, and it has a Daedalus, so you need to stop them. Alright, and now they'll just take down Abba.
Fly in for a work day. I wanted to see.
59 to 27. The kill score is tightening. The Dire actually had a gold lead for a bit there. The gold and XP is remaining extremely close, and XP solidly in the Dire's favor the entire game. They're actually leveling their heroes much, much better. Let's take a look at all the hero levels. Yeah, we see the level 28 on there, which is great. It's the only hero above level 25. And what's great is they have this dual core right here, right behind. Very, very high level. Negative entropy isn't quite keeping up with the other cores on the Dire team in levels, which I think is establishing that level disadvantage. But of course, Zeus is getting stuff done. I think this is smart. Just get bosses. Radiant team can beat you in fights, so you just want to try to get bosses. Ooh, this actually might not be smart because the Radiant team's now coming. Yeah, and Tiny's here. Harry Derpy wielding the Tiny. This fight isn't quite over, though. This Hex is lasting just absolutely forever, though. Team was going to TP back and then try to TP back in, but no, they even get the Ice Blast on Zune. That's a core thrown into the Radiant's hands. That's really, really, really rough. That's a big swing. What are you trying to do here, man? He's just trying to get revenge kills, I feel like. Ooh, but here's the Tiny. The Tiny does so much damage. He does manage to finally die. But Teemo might go too, especially if he walks into stomps like that. And this is why he's the highest level in the game. You know, farm a little on your way out. Why not? Your team's got this. Ooh, Carlos, you gonna get something done here? I love that he has Heaven Hellberg. Hellberg meta, man. It builds into Nullifier. So Radiant team knows where they are. Are they just going to back out from this boss? Yep, they're just going to run away from the boss. I think it's completely reasonable. There's no reason to pick a boss that the other team knows you're doing when you're behind, because the odds are they're just going to wait for it to get low, come in and kill you all and take it. And especially since that was a tier 2, you really don't want to have that happening. Looks like they're zeroing in on a boss up here. They're gonna go for a set of twins. Oh, were they two? Maybe I'm just mistaken. It's possible that they got changed in one of the recent balance patches. There's been a lot of changes, so I guess poop words are 2 minutes. I think if anything, that AA blast helped them. None of them were low enough to die to it, and all they did is make the boss die easier. Now this is risky. Ooh, Lion targets the wrong one with the Hex. I love the Necro book. It's awesome. Getting all kinds of stuns on the Tide. Can he get the Ravage out? And there's the Ravage. There's the big Ravage. Looks like they got a lot of the team locked in the back here in this ultimate, but Derpy doesn't really care, and they haven't quite killed him yet. Is he going to go down? There he goes. Okay, so that's most of their damage from here. And the boss is also aggroed onto the Radiant team, which is really fortunate for the Styre team. Carlos is just beating up the supports in the back like a jerk. Look at him go. The Spectre is trying to get away, very low HP. Will she aggro the creep? She didn't. All right, she's going to be perfectly fine. That's a safe, spooky Spectre. Yeah, the Dire team convincingly wins that fight. That's fantastic. That's one of the first all-out fights the Dire team has managed to win. Admittedly, Derpy did come in with low HP, but still. You know, they took him down, and then once he was down, what else can they do? How many people get out of it? Ooh, only one gets out. All three get hit. Ice Blast is annoying. Seen unupgraded armlet still on Alchemist. The team is a little starving for tier 1 cores since the other team got more. I wonder if he will choose to upgrade it or if he's going to replace it with a different items. I assume he's going to replace it with a different item. It's a really good set of chain stuns. Ooh, no Ravage for another couple seconds, and at this point I wouldn't use it. It's not worth it for this fight. You're not going to win this fight anyway. Well, I guess he believes in his Carlos, but... Derpy hits like a truck attached to another truck. Over in the other fight, Teemo actually takes down the support in the Zeus. Well done. I should have watched that. That would have been more exciting. Alright, I feel like Dire Team's feeling a little more confident here. They just won a couple fights. They're starting to come online. They're actually ahead in gold now. Honestly, they're ahead in every single metric except for early game cores. So we're going to have to see how much this Radiant team can do with their early game core advantage because they're at this point losing in every other way. Derpy still does a ton of damage though, and they're just not able to kill him because of the amount of stuns they have. He finally drops there. So now let's see what the Dire team can do. The Lion's back, though, and my god, is Lion annoying. We see Lion doesn't go for item Hex, which I think is interesting. I think as a Lion, you usually do that just to spam more Hex, because Hex is good. Alright, a lot of the Radiant teams here, and they managed to secure the core. Alright, that's a bummer. Dire team was looking strong going into that, but or at least confident, but they end up going down nonetheless. Capture points are now active. Teemo's starting to get some stuff done. He didn't. Oh, we did. Oh, yeah, it was the Kaya. Okay, Kaya got buffed, so that's better now. I know Storm Spirit, especially as a hero, really likes the Kaya, so a few of the intelligence-related buffs all kind of inherently buff him. Yeah, we see the unupgraded Orchid, which sucks. Orchid needs to upgrade and then also build into Bloodthorn for heroes like Storm Spirit to have a sane build up. Capture points are active. One team going for theirs. I believe this is a tier 3 core. This is a pretty big deal. I think they want to make sure they secure this. Looks like both teams are just gonna secure their capture points. The whole team's here, so you know these individuals can't do anything. They're choosing to get this boss instead. I don't know if that's necessarily the right choice for this team in this position. I think that they're still ahead, even though the numbers make them look ridiculously close. I think they are still ahead. And they probably could take this fight and take that core. And that would be a tier 3 taken away from the Dire team, which is a really, really big deal because they're just all weak in general. They're little core starved, so getting a free tier 3 is a big deal. They still have a tier 2 here. This is great. This would be a really good kill for them. I think most of them are still starving for something to do with tier 2 slots. Well, actually, we see some extra tier 2 cores. I didn't expect that. But I guess this is the tier 2 to replace the tier 1s they don't have. That's really what it is. So they should have extra tier 2s because they have to use them to upgrade lower tier items. Abba needs to upgrade his boots. When you're a support, it's really, really important to upgrade your GPM boots pretty early. Otherwise, the only way to keep up is to take farm away from your carries, effectively. You could be letting him have all the last hits. Yeah, we see the upgraded GPM boots on Tidehunter. That makes sense. Radiant's still with great vision. I think in general this Radiant team's just a little more organized and a little, you know, they have a game plan and they're on top of it and they're ready to try to take these guys down. Uzi. Doing Uzi. Ooh, a big fight breaking out up here. This is actually a huge amount of damage on the Radiant team. They're basically all dead. They all get caught in this ultimate and then shredded apart by Teemo. That was so good. It doesn't look like they got the boss out of it, though, but they did get a beautiful-looking team wipe. Ooh, Woozy's caught completely out of position. Just about pretty much completely guaranteed dead. I don't care about your regen crystal. You're gonna die. The Centaur kind of doing work, though. Maybe not. The raiding team actually need to leave. It was kind of a bait. Woozy was a bait. Get out, everybody. Oh, God, you're all gonna die. Oh, poor Abba. What a bait. Alright, let's check out the 3v3 down here. Derpy's part of it, which is always scary for these guys. And I think these guys specifically aren't very good with dealing with Derpy because you have to all-out fight him, and it's hard to do. It's just hard to do. Yeah, I mean, look. What a pain in the ass. He just got 0 to death. Ooh. Yeah, no Satanic on him. Alchemist also didn't pop his BKB there, which could have prevented a lot of that stun rotation and let him kind of walk through the Tiny a bit more and actually get some damage out. So that's a dead Abba. Let's see what's going on up here. This is kind of what I expected to be going on up here. It's just chaos. Chaos. Oh, man. Oh, they just barely can't quite kill him. This. There we go. He goes down. Great job. All right. Wow, Teemo manages to retain 42 charges on his Bloodstone. I gotta say that's pretty impressive. This team's been on the back foot this entire game. Like they're definitely behind, and they've been keeping up really well. And I'm impressed that he managed to accrue 42 charges. That's really good. Yeah, you gotta kill these guys first. Silencing them works, you know. It's a really good way to deal with them is to like aggro it from this edge over here and silence it so that it doesn't aggro the other one, because also all their AIs are individual. You gotta like move because the boss is walking over, so you gotta like kill it quickly and then run. But yeah, you can do it. Alright, they'll get this easy tier 3. We see over here another tier 3 being attempted. But they're not quick at killing these eggs because they don't have a lot of mobility because of all the slows going on. So actually, Derpy's struggling quite a bit with this type of boss. This is pretty funny. They managed to take him down, no problem. Ooh, but Storm Spirit's here to try to get some damage. Ooh, Spectre I think comes in at a bad time. I think his Dispersion manages to kill the Zeus there though. Can they kill? Oh, Derpy's gonna die too. This is actually great for them. All that's really left is a Centaur that they have to worry about. Yeah, Storm Spirit's just gonna right click down the Lion now. And the Tides here, which, that's great. And there we go. Can this team get there in time? They're shooting out the Ice Blast. Zeus is on his way to try to do something, but that is a tier 3 snipe. Well done. That's how you stay in the game, boys. You snipe the tier 3s. Ooh, that was really good. I keep saying it, but I can't believe how good of a job this entire team's doing at staying in this game. They're still absolutely in this. The net worth is a little more dispersed now, which is interesting. It was very, very clumped for a while there. Radiant's quite ahead in gold, but Dire remains ahead in levels. Let's take a quick look at all the hero levels. Is there anyone still below 25? Good. Okay, everyone's at least above 25. We see the Zeus really falling behind in levels. I think he's probably a bit too objective-based gaming mentality right now, and he needs to stick around and take down some medium camps with his homies sometimes. Although even Derpy's only level 38. There's another fight. I didn't see who already got the core, but they already got the core, so. Net worth, AA net worth is apparently insane. I think it's just because he upgraded boots early. That's all it does. Upgrade your boots early, it works. Also, Woozy has been farming a bit too. Wow, yeah, what is that? What is this AA net worth? What the fuck? This AA has more net worth than the carries on the other team. This is silly. Teemo's trying to get some stuff done. That's a dangerous game he's playing there, though. Ooh, we even see the blink forward. Oh, but the Ogre has something to say. Is this the same Ogre from earlier that they never actually finished off? That boss and its boss clean. We're done. All right, they're gonna try to fight here. This is a great boss to fight into, but I think that was a little early. I think what they needed was Teemo to place a ward using the ultimate and wait for it to die, and then I'll jump at that point. But this still could work out for them. I mean, they're gonna get respawns and be able to come back, and the Radiant team isn't standing on this. Oh, this is a final duel. Okay. Can they win this fight? Stormsphere playing very risky like that, especially without a BKB. They find the Centaur out of position, but that also effectively pulls the Tidehunter out of position, which is pretty important for them. They find the Zeus, and they're just going to kill him, I think. Teemo just has the ability to kill him because his important allies aren't there. Derpy, however, kills Carlos, and Teemo gets hit by the Ice Blast. That's pretty bad. But still, Teemo still has a lot of damage he can dump on this team. He needs to start thinking about Derpy, though. I think he just wants to make sure that the supports die first, which I think is a pretty reasonable play here. Can they do this? Abba needs to make sure he stays alive, because even though he can't do a whole lot, the little that he can do is extremely important for his team. Look at him for staffing away. Well done. He's just getting the hell out of there. He doesn't want to deal with the Centaur. Ooh, but the Centaur finds him. No! Oh, all right. Abba's gone. Teemo's hurting. Oh, but they kill Derpy. Okay. Now they just have to take care of it. They just have to take care of the Centaur, and Tide's actually really good at this. All right. We're still in this, boys. Quick revenge kill, and then they're easily going to take out this core. Is the Spectre actually going to come in? Yep. Okay, so that's another core and another point for the Radiant team. So the big thing of this Dire team, I mean, the Dire team can obviously win fights here. That's awesome. But let's check out some last hits also. But the thing is that the Dire team needs to be able to keep up in cores. Because if they can't manage to secure bosses and keep up in cores, then the Radiant team will just slowly get further and further ahead. I think they should be ignoring this boss and going for the capture points. Capture points are more important. It's a tier 4. This is a tier 4 capture point. I think they'd be setting up and going for that. I'll get hit by that. Alright, they all need to quickly cap this and then rush the capture point. Unfortunately, they didn't have time to do anything like set up vision ahead of time, so Radiant definitely superior vision in this situation. But of course, they always have Storm Spirit to zip in and out. Are they going to go for their capture point? Do they know it's a tier 4? I mean, you have to go for it. I think they legitimately didn't realize it was there, and then Spectre got sight. We see some maxed out items coming out on the Dire team. Abba, upgrade your boots. Upgrade your boots, Abba. I'm impressed he's keeping up in gold despite not upgrading them, but you gotta upgrade them sooner or later. You're not gonna be able to do 4 tier 5 items. Okay. I think this is gonna be over in like literally any minute. Gotta give my cat some medicine. So what bosses can this team even go for at this point? There's some blueberries they can take.
We'll take that.
Like Teemo's death wall he's building. This is lovely. It makes cool sound. I think they need to work on getting vision up and taking down these blueberries or killer tomatoes. Final duel. Yeah, see, they're not going to be able to get this boss before the final duel starts, which is really too bad because I think they could really use just that one extra core. It would make a big difference. All right, I got this duel up here. Teemo doing his zipping and zapping very well. You see him almost get caught out? Is he going to get caught out? No, he's not quite going to get caught out. And then down here, oh, Derpy has them all in range, though, and he gets a huge cleave off. And without the Storm Spirit, I don't think they have the damage to kill Derpy, honestly. I think that clump up right there was the game. Now it's just Abba up here on the hill with his unupgraded boots. And there it goes. All right. Derpy gains 1 MMR. Wow, you know, I kept talking about how the Centaur was playing really well. His 800 MMR. It shows what being on a good team can do, you know? A lot of players are actually pretty excellent. These guys all lose a bunch. Cool, good game. All right, I'm going to medicate my cat now.